Just when all was quiet on the home front, we might have just gotten ourselves some huge leaks when it comes to PlayStation and this highly rumored PS5 Pro. But let's break this all down, up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Alright, so the PS5 Pro has been a console that's been highly rumored for what seems like ages now. And there's always been this prospect of this console existing, but nothing really concrete has come out up until this past weekend. Now, this all started early on in 2023 when Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming reported on the console through Kiev Gaming. And that report came out that the PS5 Pro did in fact exist, and it was existing under the codename Trinity. Then the main goal of this console was to target improved and consistent frames per second at that lovely 4K resolution. Let's not forget a performance mode for 8K resolution and accelerated ray tracing. Now let's fast forward to today, where some documents leaked through this YouTube channel, Moore's Law is Dead. And for those of you who are worried about the leaks and the credibility to them, Insider Gaming's own Tom Henderson have backed these reports from sources of their own who choose to remain nameless. And this is all because the leaked documents in question all stem from this PlayStation developer portal, and these are the same documents that were sent out last week to a bunch of third-party developers. And as for the specs of this here console, this is what we know so far. The console will feature rendering 45% faster than the current PS5, 2 to 3 times ray tracing, maybe 4 times in some cases. Here's that lovely word, 33.5 teraflops, PSSR, which is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution Upscaling, or for lack of better terms, upscaling and anti-aliasing solution. That made me sound really smart. And support for resolutions up to 8K is planned for future SDK versions. Custom machine learning architecture, AI accelerator, supporting up to 300 TOPS of 8-bit computation, /67 teraflops of 16-bit floating point. Now, as far as system memory goes, the standard PlayStation 5, at least as we know it, has 448 gigabytes per second, but this PS5 Pro will have 576 gigabytes per second, which is a 20% increase over the standard console. Now, as for the CPU, according to Insider Gaming, the CPU is identical to the standard PlayStation 5. However, the Pro has this, quote, high CPU frequency mode, which takes the CPU to 3.85 gigahertz, which is a 10% increase over the standard console. And in that high CPU frequency mode, more power is allocated to the CPU and will downclock the GPU around 1.5%, resulting in roughly 1% lower GPU performance. And if you're gonna ask me with any of these teraflops or bits or whatever this stuff means, I got no clue what it does. It's gonna make your games run better. I just talk about video games online. Now, upon learning all of this, Insider Gaming pressed on with their sources and found out that it has been confirmed that dev kits for the PS5 Pro have been available to first-party studios since September of 2023, and third-party studios have had them since January of 2024. And since we're moving into the spring here, final test kits for the console will be available to developers, which is more or less closer to the final product. Now, as far as a release date goes, Insider Gaming also understands that the PS5 Pro is aiming for a tentative holiday 2024 release window, but we all know things like this can rapidly change. Now, as far as my 2 cents go for all this, I think it's kind of weird that they launched that PS5 Slim with the detachable disk drive, and now they're releasing this PS5 Pro. It just seems like too much. I know there's a market for both consoles, but at the same time too, if they could just mesh some things together, that'll make a better console. But again, I'm very interested to see how this all turns out. And speaking how things are gonna turn out, I'm kind of dying to know the price point in which they're gonna drop this console, because let's face it, a Pro model is a premium product, so let's expect a $500, $600, maybe $700 price point. But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. What do you think of this alleged PS5 Pro? Is this a console you guys are gonna pick up? For me, this might be the console I get. I don't own a PS5 right now, so a PS5 Pro would be the console I get. But that about does it here. I've been K-Lo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.